Hey everybody, how we doing? Again, I'm going to need you to tell me if you can hear me or not, because frankly, I can't hear anything. So I'm just going to assume that everything is okay. I really wish StreamYard would have a dark mode so you don't have to see the screen here in my glasses. So I'll have to keep my head up a little bit. So, how are we doing? Wow, I don't even know where to begin. Uh, I'm just in a random room here in my sister's house to see if we can move the light out of the way a little bit. There we go. It's low, but I can hear you. Well, turn it up. That's all I can say. Turn up your volume. Shoot. Well, I'm not really, as I said, I'm not really sure where to begin. There's so much to talk about. First of all, I'm here in Utah now. Left Texas and got here late night before last. Yeah, I'm here in my sister's house, just kicking it. We got the whole family here. Gosh, this is it's been a minute. How are we all doing? Let's see who everybody's here. That's kind of fun. Let's check this out here. And I just want this to be just kind of a chill stream. I'll throw in bits of Anime Matsuri, but we're just kind of here to chill for a bit. Who's all here? Gosh, I'm just scrolling through the list of people here. All right, well let's give the status of me. I normally don't get a lot of jet lag because I don't sleep a lot anyway. And then I tend to sort of tailor my sleep patterns to my destination. So I just kind of and I don't sleep the night before I travel ever. So I kind of weed out jet lag out of my system, but just the combination of running, I'm just running around, going full speed at Anime Matsuri, the travel, the heat, the 435 other people in the train. I got this cold. It's like big head cold, like my nose and my throat, and like the pressure behind the eyes. Probably because I was sitting for a while next to patient zero of the zombie apocalypse on the plane. She was, I don't even know why they let her fly. She's all wrapped up in this blanket, just sitting there. The whole freaking flight. It was terrible. So all of those, just when you're running on empty and you're just pushing, your immune system gets a little bit compromised, and then you sit next to patient zero of the zombie apocalypse, and you're going to catch a cold. So that's right. We're kind of coming out of it now. I spent the entire day yesterday dosed up on Dayquil and Nyquil. So it's getting a little better. And I think a lot of it was at Anime Matsuri is just you're in constant air conditioning, the hotel air conditioning, your room air conditioning, the lobby air conditioning. There's a kind of a breezeway between the convention center and the hotel, air conditioned. The convention center is air conditioned, and you're just breathing this dry air conditioned air 24 hours a day. So I think that kind of contributed to it, but it was fun. I'm feeling much better today. I'm coughing much less this morning. It's 8:05 here, 8:05 a.m. here in Utah. Oh, we have raiders. Did I miss a raid? Huh. Just morning raiders. Oh, Lincoln. Hey, Lincoln. If you're here, howdy. Cool. Let's see. Right, I'm checking here, seeing what's going on. Good audio, great. I hate this StreamYard thing. I need my computer back. I'm on a Samsung tablet, which doesn't have all of the same functionality as computer does. So what? I'm not going to be able to see the monthly membership chats that come in. I don't think I'll be able to see those. But if any super chats come in, we'll be able to catch those. I believe. I just don't know. We should do? I don't know. We'll see if anything comes in. Hey, Lincoln. Thank you very much, everybody that's coming in here from Lincoln Kane. We're just getting started here. Robert Lawrence said I get a new one. No, this is a Samsung tablet I've had for a while. I don't need a laptop computer. because I just don't use it enough. I'm either home, I'm in my office. When I do go somewhere, that a tablet is more than sufficient. I thought about buying a laptop just for this, and I can't justify that cost to spend on a laptop that I'm just going to use a couple of times over a 2 week period and then probably never touch again. Oh wait, Joe Choice is a Lincoln. I don't see the gifted memberships either. So what did Lincoln Kane do? Lincoln gifted some memberships apparently. I don't know. 20. Where are we at here? 20 memberships. Okay, Lincoln just gifted 20 memberships. Super. Thank you so much, Lincoln. That is very, very generous of you. Oh, anonymity. Unfortunately for me in Korea, it's not a tax write-off. If it was a tax write-off, I'd be all over it. But yeah, that's not a thing I get to do in Korea. Right. Well, let's see. Let's go back to the beginning, shall we? As Julie Andrews sang, let's start at the very beginning. It's a very good place to start. All right. As I mentioned in one of my shorts, I almost didn't make it. I almost didn't get out of Korea because the morning I was supposed to leave. Oh, I do see the membership chats. Cool. So AA Ron, who's been a member for 9 months, is just joining. Has your family found out you're a YouTuber yet? No. They're still all asleep downstairs now, so they haven't found that out yet. But I think I'm gonna have to tell my son this weekend for reasons that we'll talk about later. I think I'm gonna have to let my son in on it. Oh, D, what says I saw you for a couple of minutes on Chrissy Mayer's stream. Yeah, I was I was just walking through I think it was in the hotel, and she just accosted me and took me by surprise and jammed the microphone in my face. That was pretty funny. Chrissy is fun. Yeah, so I almost didn't get out because the morning I was supposed to leave, a typhoon was coming in. And it was actually a typhoon backed by another typhoon about 1 day apart. And I was really panicking because it was coming and I was getting closer to the departure time. And it was literally a race to the airport. As I'm checking, I got different weather displays up on my computer. I'm talking to Delta because the way it works is it was a Delta flight, but it was a code shared with Korean Airlines plane. And I got my tickets through Expedia. So I'm talking to Expedia. I'm talking to Korean Air. I'm talking to Delta, seeing if I can get out. If there's any way they can predict the future, does it look like, are they thinking about shutting the airport down? Are they thinking about canceling the flight? What are they doing? And of course, they're all saying, oh, we can't predict the future. We don't know the weather. But see, the problem was my flight was scheduled for out of Seoul at 7:30 p.m. My flight out of Busan was scheduled for about 4:30 p.m. And if I had left my home at 1 p.m. by train and took the train to Seoul, I could still catch my flight in Seoul if they shut down the airport in Busan. And so I'm just trying to get a sense, do I have to make a run for Seoul by train? And I finally, after a couple of hours of trying, got a hold of someone at Delta that said, well, if you do that, they won't let you on the plane if you join midstream. So they said it's just up to whatever happens in Busan. So I just sucked it up and I was just watching the typhoon come. I was watching the winds get stronger. It was raining hard. The wind was blowing. And oh, Alan, thank you so much, Alan. I miss my streams. Hurry and come back, Jeff. Well, now that I'm ensconced in my sister's house and I'm not being buffeted by the winds of Anime Matsuri, we'll be doing a couple more of these. We'll probably several more of these while I'm still here because it's morning and there's nothing to wake up for everybody else. And I'm awake because of jet lag. So thank you so much for that, Alan. I deeply, deeply appreciate that. Oh, is Lincoln gifting more memberships? That's the one thing apparently I still can't see is the gifted memberships. So Lincoln, whatever you're doing, however many you're giving things, thank you so much. Oh, 50 gift memberships. Damn. Link, you got to stop that, man. But everybody, if you're one of the 50 people that got a Lincoln Vices membership, please, Lincoln Vices. The whole world revolves around me, obviously. If you're one of the lucky people that got a Lincoln Kane membership, please give Lincoln Kane a special shout out and thanks for that. Super, super generous and deeply, deeply appreciated. Um, so where was I? Yeah, so I'm sitting there and 1 o'clock rolls by, and I go, all right, I'm committed now. All I can do is just hope that the airport doesn't shut down. And Busan Airport shuts down very easily because there's been two really bad airplane accidents that involved bad weather. And so they're very, very cautious and they shut down very, very easily. For those of you who might remember, I was supposed to go to Osaka earlier this year to hang out with Meme Copium, Josh, for a weekend, and I didn't get out because it was a little foggy, and there was no fog, there was no rain, no, there was nothing at the airport, but they expected it to happen, so they shut down all the flights for the day. So that's how sensitive the Busan airport is. And I said when I left the house, I eventually left the house at 2 o'clock. And it was raining and the wind was blowing. And I got there and I guess it was, you have the typhoons rotate. And the difference between a hurricane and a typhoon is nothing. Like hurricanes happen in the Atlantic and typhoons happen in the Pacific. That's about it. But I think what happened was one of the spiral arms was raining and blowing over Busan, and then just shortly after I left, it kind of got out of one of those bands, and the weather was semi calm. Um, and I was lucky. My flight was, as best I can tell, the last flight they allowed out of the airport before they shut it down for a day or two. So yeah, we got out no problem, got to Seoul, and so I was incredibly lucky. I think my plane was the last plane out of Busan, so I was happy. I got out, went to Seoul, no problem, hung out there for a while, got through the airport. Then I had to fly to my least favorite airport on planet Earth, LAX. I hate LAX more than any other airport that I've ever been to on planet Earth. They just suck. It's an ancient airport. The the infrastructure sucks. All of the processes for checking in suck. Everything just sucks about LAX. I would rather not go somewhere than go through LAX. And so I always plan my flights to not go through there. But this one I had no choice. And going out, I'm going through Seattle. So, screw LAX. Oh, San Francisco is way better. I love San Francisco Airport. Oh, plus they've got all the good restaurants and bars there, and all the sourdough shops. Oh yeah. Heather is correct. LAX truly stinks, and it is a maze. Now I always allow for 3 hours, 3 hour layovers wherever I go because I know something's going to happen. My flight's going to be delayed. My incoming flight is going to be delayed. There's going to be problems. I always Flux. Flux, how you doing? We're going to be talking about Flux here in a little bit. Good to see him, my girl Flux. Fem Natal, member for 6 months, his new hat. I love it. Glad to see you. Yeah, we'll talk about the new hat here in a bit too. Uh, Flux. Oh, Flux figures into a lot of the stories we might be talking about today. Oh, shoot. Let's see. Where was I? Oh, yeah. So I got to LAX. Now, I always leave 3 hours, 3 hours minimum between layovers, no matter where I go because of problems. Now, on this one, it should have been more than enough time, but I knew there was going to be a problem when we landed at LAX and they kept us at the gate. Oh, I miss you too, Flux. They kept us at the gate for like an extra 20 minutes inside the plane. They were trying to find one of their mobile gangways, I guess, or whatever the hell they call them in the airport. And the one they hooked up, I think it was broken or something, because even the one they did hook up, it didn't fit the side of the plane right. But we all got out, and to get through, this is my own country. I'm going back to my own country. It should be an easy process. To get off the plane, walk the 6 miles to the baggage claim. I mean, to the immigration, to go through this incredibly long, hey, waifu Kron's here. She'll figure into some of the stories too. It was fun. So, yeah, to get to the immigration line, to go through that, it was insane. This line was so long. So to work, just to slowly wend your way through that. Then for some reason, I didn't have to go through customs. I filled out all the customs documents, but there was never any customs agent to give them to or to show them to. So I don't know what happened. So I probably did something wrong, but whatever. I just had to answer less questions about my Cuban cigars. So a win for me. So even though I didn't have to go through the customs, apparently, I then had to go all the way to get to the luggage. Once you got to the luggage, you had to wait for it to come off. And for some reason, as always, my luggage is always the last piece of luggage off the plane, just without fail. It's always the last. So I got that. Then I had to go 2 terminals away, and it would be longer to take the bus, so I had to walk outside to two different terminals, from Tom Bradley International to Terminal 3, I believe it was. So I had to walk 2 terminals away. I got there. Then you have to go through the terminal to get to my gate, which is always in the very end of the airport. And I got there and I sat down for 2 minutes, and it was time to board the plane. So now I'm just gonna, if I ever go through LAX, I'm gonna have to give a 4-hour layover. Is this my childhood bedroom? No, this is my sister's upstairs bedroom. Actually, this is one thing. Okay, let's pause our Anime Matsuri thing. That's one thing I'm gonna do when I'm gonna finish this. Interestingly, the house where my sister lives now is about 5 houses away from the house where I was born. So I'm gonna go down and like maybe do a little video, take some pictures of the house that I lived in when I was born until I was about 4 years old. So yeah, it's just like 5 houses down the street. My best friend's house, the school. We're gonna do stuff like that. Kelly R says, open borders. Jeff, we have no laws here anymore. Well, we still have the law that doesn't let me bring in Cuban cigars, so I have to use other means to get them in. So got through LA, got on the plane to Houston. Got into Houston, no problem. It was great. Had to wait a bit for the Uber, but that's fine. Then I got to the hotel and checked in, and then Ozzy and I hooked up. Ozzy Overloud and I, he should be on his way home now. I'm not sure if he got home yet. He's probably flying home right now. He and I hooked up. I brought 3 bottles of whiskey with me. 3 bottles of alcohol, not whiskey. 3 bottles of alcohol. I brought a Dalmore 18-year Scotch, which was so good. I brought a 53% alcohol soju and the first Korean single malt Scotch that was made. So I brought those. Hayden and I went back to my room, and we had some soju. It was not Hayden's favorite. The 53% soju was not Hayden's favorite. He claims it peeled off a few layers of taste buds. So yeah, we hung out till probably 3:30 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning, something like that. What did Nick think of the Korean Scotch? We'll get there. Not much is the answer, but we'll get there. Yeah, so we just kind of hung out in the room and chatted and just caught up and got to know each other IRL, as you kids say. Is there such a thing as so gentile? Nice. I see what you did there, Daily Quick Bites. And we wanted to go down to the bar. Well, before we got together, this is just kind of stream of consciousness here. I forgot. I wanted to go to the bar, but for some reason the hotel bar closes at midnight, and I got into the hotel about 1 a.m. But everybody was waiting for me, and by everybody I mean Camelot. Camelot and Ozzy were down in the lobby waiting, so I popped on down, and Ryan the editor was there, Camelot, Ozzy, and a couple of other people. I can't remember who they were. I was kind of out of it at that point. We said hi to those, and we all just said, we'll catch each other tomorrow. Then Hayden and I went back and had our drinking session in the room. Then so I got a couple hours sleep. I have it when I'm in hotels. I'm in a hotel room for a reason, and so I always have this big FOMO thing, and I don't sleep well in hotels because I'm there for a reason. There's something going on, and I'm not part of it. So I only slept a couple of hours. Like really a couple of hours, 2 hours. Then we got up the next morning, and I was just kind of just messing around in the hotel room. Um, didn't have breakfast. It is literally such a blur that everything that happened is literally just a blur. Let's see, trying to think. Now, Ozzy and I got together again sometime earlier in that morning. I think we were waiting. Maybe not. I honestly can't remember what happened that first morning I was there, but it was Thursday morning, the first day of the convention, and they open at 10. But I wasn't in a big hurry. Well, that's what it was. Yeah, that's the hat story. Okay, Ozzy and I got together, and he wanted to go to Miller Hats to get him a hat. And he did. So I said, let's go over to Miller Hats because that was part of the deal. I was going to go to the mothership and pay homage to the people that have been supplying me with hats for 20 years. So we got together, jumped in an Uber, went over to Miller Hats, and it was awesome. I thought I had made some video, but it turned out I hadn't actually taken a video. I'd taken some pictures. So didn't get anything good from the mothership from Miller Hats, but I got this hat and two more hats. They're going to be actually arriving here at my sister's house today. And Ozzy got his Crocodile Dundee hat, which you've seen him wear in the pictures. So I mean, he had a great time there. He liked walking around. He bought some hats as well. Then we went back, and that is when, trying to think of the order things happened. I can't remember who got there first. Oh, okay. Yeah, it was Chandler. Chandler Remington got there first. So Chandler Remington shows up at the hotel. Ozzy was off doing his thing. I hung out with Chandler for a while we were waiting for Flux and Jessica Reloaded to come in. And we were just kicking and just hanging around, walking around, talking. And yeah, Hayden came all the way to Texas to get an Ozzy hat. Well, it was funny because apparently those Crocodile Dundee hats are big sellers in Australia. Because when we got in there, Hayden asked about them, and the owner said that he was actually sending out 2 of those Crocodile Dundee hats to Australia today. And Ozzy says, "Oh, that's what I came here for." And the guy thought he was joking. That someone would come from Australia to Houston, some actual Australian would come to Houston to buy a hat. He's like, "No, I'm serious." So finally, Ozzy got a great one. He got a great hat. So anyway, Chandler and I we were hanging out, waiting for Flux and Jessica to Reloaded to arrive, and it was kind of chill. Then Drex sent a message saying that he had landed, and it took so much time for him to get a rental car. By the time he landed, Jessica Reloaded's plane had landed, so he decided to take Jessica Reloaded back with him. But then while they were doing that, Flux's plane landed. So Flux, Jessica Reloaded, and Drex all took a car back from the airport to the hotel. And Drex is a big man. Stupidly, I didn't get any pictures, but someone just sent me one this morning when we were all at a restaurant. That's the only picture I have of me and Drex together. I didn't take one. Not that it would have done any good to take a picture with him, because you would have seen like my head and about his chest. I'm 5'11" ish. I'm 5'11", and I probably hit him right about his underarms. He's a big boy. he is big. So they all showed up. We said hi to Drex. Everybody got their stuff set out together. Then we all went over to the convention center to just check in. Now, I'm not 5'11 and a half, probably closer to 5'10 and a half, but I just say 5'11. Drex is probably he's probably 6'6", 6'7". He is a tall man and big. He's buff. Yeah, so we went over to the convention center. We all checked in, got our passes and whatnot, and went on inside. And it was a huge convention center. Huge. I mean, excuse me, I'm going to cough here. didn't know if I was going to be able to hit the mute in time. Uh, yeah, Drex may as well, Adriana Drex may as well have been 7 feet. He was just huge. Yeah, the the convention center was just, they had everything. I know nothing about anime. Don't really care much about anime. Well, I care less than not much about anime, but it was enormous. It's like a gigantic airplane hangar, just full. I mean, it would probably, we did it in shift. We did it in 3 separate shifts. Like we'd do 1/3, 1/3, and 1/3 of the convention hall. But if you did it all together, it probably would take you to see every booth a good hour and 15 minutes to walk walk through and see everything, not look at anything. And they had the YouTube corner. The YouTube corner was, if you go inside the door and you go to the left, and I mean all the way to the left, it's just this random empty corner in the very left corner of the convention hall, and that's where they had the YouTuber section set up. And so we went over there. Nobody was there yet, so we walked around and checked things out. I mean, there's T-shirts and pillowcases and swords and dice and just anything you could imagine that a nerd would do was there. Wait, there's something. Hey, Danielle, what's up? And I'll tell you, Danielle is awesome. Danielle was awesome too. Cult of personality. Who was the messiest drunk of the YouTubers? Actually, there wasn't a messy drunk. Everything was great. We're kind of all adults. It was pretty awesome. There was no incidents or anything like that. It was just a whole bunch of fun. So eventually, we walked around. Everybody kind of got together over at the what the hell is it? The YouTuber section. And we kind of all said hi. Kurt was there, so we saw Kurt, hung out with Kurt for a bit, talked to him. Nick showed up, and she talked to Nick. Getting to meet Nick for the first time, so it was kind of cool. And Lady Rackets was there, looking amazing as always. Just one of the most nicest, friendliest people you'll ever meet in your life. Chrissy Mayer and Lila, they were over there. They were sort of like 2 tables away. And they were right in front of us. Just if you were in the YouTube section looking out, there was this the garbage truck outside. Well, I wanted to actually do this stream outside in the backyard because it's beautiful in my sister's backyard, but the neighbors are using power tools. There was helicopters flying over. The sun was just pounding in. So I just moved it up here to this room. Maybe we'll do it outside tomorrow or something. As Flux said, Ms. Rackets is a smoke show. Absolutely correct. and she's just so nice. A Critical Drinker was there. He was in the next table. Hey, Gauze, what's up? The Gauze Man is here. So, yeah, everybody got there and said hi. Then we just kind of went our separate ways. We were going to meet up for dinner. And that's about the time I started getting really tired because I hadn't slept I'd had like 2 hours sleep in 3 days. Because when I travel, I do not sleep the night before. So I didn't sleep that night. Then traveling, I don't sleep well. And then I had 2 hours sleep the night I got there. So I had about 2 hours sleep in 3 days. And I was starting to drag. And the interesting thing, people don't believe me when I say this, but I'm really, really introverted. I kind of have this social limit where once my social interactive levels like max out, I've just got to peace out and just get into some peace and quiet and just chill by myself, doing nothing for a while. And I got to that point pretty quick because, like I said, there's a million people in the convention center, and then there's people and I feel that this is the one thing I feel really, really bad about is, people are coming to see me, and it's their opportunity to meet me, and I've seen a billion people that want to meet me, and for them, it's their interaction. For me, it's this continued stream of people talking and talking and moving and shaking hands and taking pictures, people milling around, and the noise of the place. And it just kind of gets to me to the point where I've got to go, all right, I need to peace out for a bit. I'll come back. And, I have to chill. And so I feel really bad about that. And I know I probably upset a lot of people when I'm got to the point where I'm just like, I need to go. I need out. And so I did that for a couple of hours. I just had to extricate myself from the situation. And we went and hung out until dinner time. We went to dinner at this place called Saltgrass that's in the convention center. Great steakhouse. Great steakhouse. Oh, well, I think I'm getting my days mixed up. Okay, I am getting my days mixed up. Sorry. I think. God, it was such a whirlwind. Yeah, that first night, Kurt, Ozzy, and I went to Saltgrass for dinner, and that's where if you've seen Hayden's video about me falling on my ass after I dropped my napkin, that was the that was the first night. Excuse me. Yeah, cause we'd had a lot of drinks in the bar that first night when I met Kurt. Then we went over to the Saltgrass place for dinner, Hayden, Kurt, and I, and we had some more drinks there. The bartender there she was one of the best bartenders I've ever seen. She made this spicy margarita and this spicy Moscow Mule. It was so good. And at one point, I dropped my napkin, and I was kind of tired, and so I bent over to pick up my napkin, and like the bottom of the bar had this little lip on it, and I was holding onto that lip while I was reaching down to get my napkin, and of course my finger slipped, and I did an ass plant. I couldn't just fall on my ass and stand up. No, when I fell on my ass, I pushed the chair. It didn't fall over, just pushed the chair way back, which made the screeching noise, which made everybody in the restaurant look at me. I went, what the hell? Picked up my napkin and then promptly dropped it again. That's when the bartender was looking at me like, okay, is he going to fall on his ass again? If so, we're going to throw him out of here. But I picked it up with grace and decorum, and we went about our meal. And then we called it quits for the day. And by call it quits for the day, we went back. We hooked up with Nick and Ozzy, Nick, and I. God, we went back to my room to drink whiskeys, and we must have. Yeah, it was like that's exactly. It was like ready for that go home, Jeff, you're drunk kind of a thing. We went back to Nick, Hayden, and I went back to my room, and we drank till probably 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. He said Hayden passed on the soju. He didn't like the soju, so we all had the Korean. It's called Giwon, the whiskey. We cracked it open. The first time I'd ever tasted it, it wasn't bad. It wasn't the worst whiskey I've ever had. It could use a little more aging. Okay, a lot more aging. But it wasn't bad. Nick was not a fan of it. Nick didn't like it. I really didn't mind it. I don't know what Hayden thought. But then we broke out the 18-year Dalmore. And of course, you have to love the 18-year Dalmore scotch. One of the best scotches out there. I love it. So we all had that. And then we staggered our separate ways. Apparently, for some reason that I honestly don't even remember doing it. Nick said it was pretty funny. I walked him back to his room. And the only thing I have is just a vague recollection of being in the hallway. And then went back to my room. And then the next day, everybody met up and did all of this stuff. Nate showed up the next day. Nate, the lawyer, he also lives in the area, so he popped in. Oh yeah, Flux had some of that Dalmore, and she liked it. So yeah, so that was the end of day one. Day two, it was just. This is weird. I mean, there was no sleep, so there's vaguely no way of differentiating the days, and plus I had lost a day coming. I had 2 Wednesdays when I flew, so honest to God, these days are just all blending together for me. So then, like the next morning, that's when we all got together and we did some things. We walked around the convention center together, did some fun stuff, spent some time over in the YouTube section, of course. And Nate the lawyer showed up. Said hi to him. He brought his daughters and was checking things out. Of course, Camelot was there again. Camelot, Lofty Pixels. We met him in the bar with Kurt and Ozzy the first night. And there's some really amazing, really amazing people. Did two creepy twin ghosts talk to you, Red Rum? This hotel room, the hallway, even Flux and I were talking about that. That hallway looked like there would be two twin ghost girls at the end. It kind of looked like that. We were actually joking about that. Nate was there on Saturday? I skipped the titty show on Friday. Okay. All right. Yeah, you're right. Thank you, Flux. Okay, we got to go back to Friday with the titty show. All right. Okay, let me reboot my brain here. All right. Yeah, so we walked around the convention center on Friday. Just kind of doing our own thing, buying a lot of stuff, shopping. And I'll tell you, Hayden is a big guy. He's not this whisper thin feller, but he has this weird ability to just disappear. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. He's a big guy like me, and he just, well, as he calls it, he just smoke bombs. It's like he's gone. He's standing next to you. You look at something, you look back, and he's just vanished into the crowd. It's the weirdest thing. I think it was Sunday. I actually lost him in the middle of an empty hallway. It is weird. And it was starting to freak me out after a while. Because they said he's not a small guy. But he's just poof gone. And I kept marveling at this. And I have no other way of describing this. It was just the weirdest freaking thing. Yeah, Hayden is a complete and total ninja. That's all there is to it. Haydini, absolutely. Hey Joe has a friend like that. And so it was 4 days of me losing Ozzy in a crowd. It was stupefying. He's like, hey, what? And then you're looking, and you see him like 4 miles down the hallway. That's weird. And so I think Ozzy would make a great spy, because I mean, even though he looks like he should really stand out in the crowd and be hard to find, he just vanishes. And Flux can back me up on that, if she hasn't already. Aboriginal magic. Yeah, he just vanishes, and he did this all day, every day. It was weird. Oh, hang on, who did I get a message from? Nobody important. So yeah, we hung out there in the convention center. Then we went to have this dinner, and that dinner was I got the pictures of it. I'll put the pictures up on Twitter later. Yeah, see, Flux, dude, he would just be gone. I mean, he wouldn't even move. He would just vanish right in front of you, just right before your eyes. So at the dinner, God, I'm trying to think of who was all at this dinner. This was when I really had to peace out, because I was way over my head as far as social stimulation goes. Let's see, I can go around the table. This was also at the Saltgrass restaurant. We all went back there the second night. Okay, I'd gone to chill in my room. Chandler was hanging out because I just had to get away from her for a while again. And then it came time to go to dinner, and we decided we were going to go to the Saltgrass Steakhouse. So we showed up. We showed up there, and so there was me. Let's see if I can go around counterclockwise. There was me, Jess, waifu Kron, her husband Casey, Jessica Reloaded, T-Rex, some lady whose name started with a P that I've never seen before. Afix, I think his name was. We just call him Kurt Cobain. He looked kind of like Kurt Cobain. Chandler, Flux, and so there was 9 of us. No, it was not Cyrax. So there was 9 people at this table. 9 loud people. My face is getting really. It's the lighting. It's that's all it is. Just the lighting in here. Have you checked your blood pressure lately? Thank you for your concern, RL, but it's just the lighting. Yeah. So there's 9 people at this table. 9 people who talk a lot and talk loudly. Plus, we're in this packed restaurant with music going and about 100 other people talking. And I'm trying desperately to enjoy my meal, but my introverted self is really hating every minute of it because people are shouting over each other at the table and talking, and I was way overstimulated. And then in the door came a bunch of other people. The 2 most important people in that group were Drex and the lovely Danielle. Legal Mind says Mod Danielle. There's so many Danielles out there. Danielle is an absolute gem of a human being. She is so fun. No, we didn't get the coof. We just got airplane contamination. Unfortunately, as I mentioned at the beginning, I sat next to Patient Zero from the zombie apocalypse. This is actually improving. I feel actually much better. Yeah, so Drex and Danielle came. Oh no, seriously, Danielle, you are absolutely so sweet. Danielle was one of the greatest people around. It was just so much fun, so cute. Her costume was great. She was with Drex. There was a couple of other people, and we all know how quiet Drex is. Drex is one of the most quiet people you'll ever meet. Do you still say not? Is that still a thing? But he was standing right behind me, shouting over everybody at the table. And poor Danielle just sort of looked like she wanted to be anywhere else. she was so tired. We were all pretty drained by that point. And then it just got to the point, he said, where there's 9 people at the table, like 10, 11, or 13 people if you count the people standing behind them, plus everybody in the hotel. Exactly. Chat, lol. It got to the point where I said, like, I've just got to go. So I had about 4 bites of this. I think it was like with the sides and the drinks and whatnot. I think my bill was like $96 for this steak, and I had about 4 bites of it, 3 or 4 bites of it, and none of it tasted like anything. And so I just had to leave it at the table and just peace out. So I extricated myself, and Chandler had left just before me because she felt like she was starting to get a migraine or at least a headache. And so she pieced out, then I pieced out, and I just went back to my room and just died for a while. Then after a couple of hours, Flux came by. Flux can correct me if I'm wrong. Flux came by, then Chandler came by, then Ozzy came by. So there was like Ozzy, me, Chandler, and Flux in my room. Yeah, no, Drex says he does that to remember people's names too. Yeah, I asked Drex why he does that, and he told me, which I should probably start doing because I suck at remembering names. So all 4 of us, me, Ozzy, Chandler, and Flux, were in my room, and we were just talking, having drinks, and Ozzy says, "Want to go see some titties?" I'm like, "Well, yes, pray do tell. What are these titties of which you speak?" And apparently there was something called, what was it? A nerdlesque show, like a nerdy burlesque show. And like, okay, with like professional burlesque dancers. So Ozzy said, "Hey, let's go see the nerdlesque show." I'm like, okay, I'm down for titties. So it's nerd titties. And of course, Hayden was in there for the experience. I was like, cool. I'll never turn down some titties. But Flux and Chandler, they were the most actively interested in seeing the titties. Flux was like a little schoolgirl. She was hilarious. I don't know about other locations, but Saltgrass in Louisiana was so bad I have no interest in visiting another. The drinks were really good. I really enjoyed it. I mean, like I said, this bartender, she was fire. She was great. I just have a little head cold from airplane and air conditioning and things. Don't worry about it. This is actually much, much improved. I was a mess for the past couple of days. Yeah, so we all had to walk. Oh, and this was the worst. A Mexican Vader in the house. What's up, buddy? Mexican Vader. It was fun, says Flux. Oh yeah. Good to see Mexican Vader. So yeah, we just hung around until it was time to go to the titty show. Then we walked. Now we had to go from my room, which is the 7th floor of the hotel, down to the 2nd floor, walk across this gigantic hotel, then go through a sky breezeway into the next hotel, go up to the 3rd floor. So it was a good long walk. We got up there and we were getting ready to go in the titty show. And they said, oh, you have to have an armband that proves you're over 18. Yeah. I basically got carded and couldn't prove that I was over 18. So what we had to do then is we all had to walk back, go down to the 1st floor. We had to go to this place, show our ID, get our stupid little 18 plus black armbands, then go back up and then go into the titty show. So that took a little bit, but thankfully we didn't miss anything because there was this really, really bad comedian doing this warm-up show. I think he said one funny thing in about 15 minutes, and it really wasn't that funny. So, yeah, we got there, and we were kind of up on these bleachers up on stage left. So if you're looking at the stage, it'd be your right. And then the titty show started. Oh my gosh, Flux was happy. Chandler enjoyed it. Hayden was taking some vids. I was taking some pictures. But it was the dancers were really, really good. I mean, they were clearly professional burlesque dancers. And the one rule for taking videos, one rule for taking videos there, he said when the pasties come out, the cameras go away. So you could take pictures and video anything, but once they got down to pasties, then you had to put the cameras away. That was kind of the only rule. And I don't know if Hayden has told his story yet, so I don't want to tell Hayden's camera story. Hayden can tell Hayden's camera story. Ask him about his camera story. Ask him about his titty show camera story. He'll tell you. But the first half of the titty show was a 2-hour titty show, about an hour and a half once they got all the stupid warm up stuff out of the way. How were the tits, Jeff? Well, they were great. They came in all sizes and shapes, Elsie. They had big uns and the little uns and in between uns. They were great. There was only one that we weren't quite sure if they were like, let's say, a natural born female, shall we say. I think she was, but it was debatable. So yeah, the shows were great. The costumes, they were all anime costumes, and then they just sort of undressed and did the burlesque dances. That was really great. Oh no, he was not just a boomer who recorded his own face. It was we almost had to get Ozzy out of jail. That's the only thing I'm going to say about it. Ask him about his titty show camera show, because it ends with us almost having to get him out of jail. Then came intermission. And those of you that know Flux goes to sleep like 10 p.m. She just usually peace out about 10 p.m. to go to sleep. But this was already about 2 o'clock in the morning, so she was super tired. Then they'd had this intermission where they started inviting fans up on stage for a burlesque show to take it off. And really, there was one thin, fairly attractive woman. Can you hear the chainsaw? There's a dude running a chainsaw at 8:51 a.m. here. That's one of the advantages. That's one of the nice things and one of the bad things about living out in the country here where my sister is. It's peaceful. There's grass, there's trees, but there's also early morning power tools. So yeah. That's part of the downside of country life is people wake up early out here. So they had the intermission, and there was one kind of semi-attractive girl. That's about it. Then there was one definitely not thin, definitely not attractive female, and then there's about five fat guys, like guys. Yeah, it was all a bunch of old fat guys. Well, just fat guys, big fat guys, and a shark guy wearing like a the left shark costume, and the shark dude was the most entertaining. But they started asking these fat dudes to take off their clothes, and it was stupid, and it was a way they were doing this because all of the burlesque dancers were doing costume changes for part two, but it went on way too long, and it was dudes and ugly chicks. It was just sad. And that's when Flux said, yeah, that's what, yeah, she said that's when she dipped. She's like, yeah, don't need to see this. So Flux and Chandler dipped, which left Hayden and I. Did we just watch it to the end? Yeah, there was a stripper shark that was pretty funny. So we watched that to the end. The ending was good. The last dancer was the one that Flux liked the most, because they just did the part one and part two. Well, Ozzy was cheering. Of course, we were all cheering for titties. Who doesn't cheer for titties? Come on. What are you doing with the doggos yet? Oh, I have a friend. She comes over like a couple hours in the morning and a couple hours at night, feeds them and plays with them and does stuff. But yeah, so the last dancer was the one that Flux liked the most. She did this amazing pole dance. That girl has the most insane core strength I've ever seen in my life. So that ended the titty show on Friday. Saturday's when Nate showed up. And Afix, wife who tested positive for the Rona? Oh, whatever. I'm not going to get tested. What I don't know won't hurt me. Chandler, what's up, girl? Chandler really wanted to go to the strip club, and I would have done it, but I was just so dead. I was so dead by that point. Yeah, hey Chandler, good to see you. Yeah, she wanted the strip club. Excuse me while I cough again. All right, I'm back. Flux tested, she's negative. Okay. Everybody tested. I don't know. I figure it's just whatever. I don't care. So that ended that night. But then God, I can't even remember what happened that night. I just remember I didn't sleep. Like literally didn't sleep. I think Hayden and I just talked in my room forever. In fact, Flux, Chandler, if any of you remember what I did on Friday night after the titty show, let me know, because I have no memory of it. I just remember I thought I got about 2 hours sleep, but it turned out I only had about 45 minutes. I was pretty proud of I got 2 hours sleep, but then once I started doing the math, oh, I remember what happened. Never mind. Yeah, never mind. I remember what happened. There was just a little bit of issues that had to be resolved, and I spent all night resolving issues. But yeah, so that's why I didn't get to sleep. I planned on sleeping all night, but I got 45 minutes sleep. Yes. What knows? It's nothing, Jeff. Nothing happened after. Exactly. All right. Yeah, so nothing happened, but for some reason, because nothing was happening, I got 45 minutes sleep that night. Then Saturday rolled around, and it was back to the convention center. So that's what I'm saying. This is just going and going, and it's nonstop. It's just all nonstop. Yeah, Afix agrees. Nothing happened. It was a whole bunch of nothing happened. But like I said, it was just from the time I got there at 1 a.m. on Wednesday night or Thursday morning, I guess, until I left on Sunday afternoon. It was nonstop human interaction, which I am just not used to. I don't deal well in situations like that. So again, it's just not sleeping. All of this, and people are coming up and meeting, and I'm dying inside, but I'm really actually am thrilled to see them. And it was so much fun meeting people and whatnot. And I probably came off like a dick to a bunch of people, just because by the time that some people got to me, I mean, just somebody please kill me. Someone please kill me and get me out of this. And I mean, people walk around the convention center with you, they want to hang out with you and do things. And in principle, I don't have a problem with it. But there's some points where you're like, I just want to be alone. I love you, but I want to be alone. And then you can't be alone because you've always got to be there. And there's a million people that are just constantly coming up to you. So I did feel bad. And Chandler says it was a lot. Hannah, stimulus overload does not begin to describe it, especially for me. It was way too much for me, and it was nonstop. Avix says yo super fun hanging flux. We could, I mean, there was people that would follow you to the bathroom. I get it from their perspective, but for me, I'm like, okay, I talk to the 9 millionth person. I just want to be alone. I just want to hide behind this curtain over here and go. And yeah, but it was so much fun. And I mean, if any of you watching, if any of you were here felt like I shortchanged you or I blew you off, I was not doing it because I don't love you dearly. You just probably caught me at a point where I was done, just done. Well, see, this is the thing. Music and Fiction says that's why the VTubers need a green room nearby, detox from everything. That's the one thing we talked about, that there should be like a green room where you can just go, all right, I got to go do things. We'll see you later. And it's just a quiet, off enclosed room with a couple of sofas. We actually talked about that. That's something that does need to happen. We said there needs to be a green room. That would solve a lot of problems. I don't know if it's a problem. Maybe everybody else likes it, but and like I said, it was just cool. It was so much fun. It was so cool, but it was nonstop. Let me see. Let me make sure I'm not missing any of these things here. Yep, I think I've got all the super chats. Just checking the super chat list to make sure. All right, I guess we've got them. Yeah, just in case, just the same way. It's all right. Jeff is a celeb. See, that's the thing, is I'm a freaking nobody. I'm like nobody. And I had all of these people coming up and saying hi, and are you legal by this? And I can't imagine if you're like a Chrissy May or a Nerdrotic, a Critical Drinker, a Nick, a Camel. Oh my Lord. Well, there was supposed to be a YouTuber panel, but they canceled it for some reason. They did a Friday Night Tights, which we'll talk about in a little bit, and they did a Simcast. Oh, Lincoln, there's going to be a lot of that. As soon as I end up here, I'm heading on down to the liquor store. Sunday? No, Monday. That's Tuesday. Yeah, it's like 3 days dry. We need to stop that. Yes, please hit the subscribe. We've dropped quite a few subscribers since I haven't been live every day. But, so like and subscribe if that's what you want to do. Let's see. But no, I am, in the whole grand scheme of YouTube, I really am a nobody, and there were still so many people coming. There was, and see, things, I'm terrible with names anyway. I mean, one amazing woman came from Austria. She came from Austria just to see the YouTubers, and she gave me this beautiful hat that she got from the Tullamore distillery in Ireland when she visited Ireland, and she gave me that hat, and that was like so touching. Another guy, God, I think it was Dave. I can't see. I'm so sorry I forgot everybody's names. I'm shitty with names to begin with, but got an amazing Monte Cristo cigar, and of course the drinks, lots of drinks, and Flux, our very own Flux. I hate her to death, but she forced me to take her Killdozer hat, her prize Killdozer hat, which Flux, I'm telling you right now in front of 442 people, any day you regret your decision and you want that hat back, it's yours. I know that's a huge thing for you, and that was a huge prized possession, but she insisted that I take her Killdozer hat, which is now one of my prized possessions. But as far as I'm concerned, until the day the hat rots away or I die, that's your hat, Flux. It's just on loan. I got some soap. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means about my personal hygiene, but someone gave me some soap. And we had like it was Flux, Hayden and I. We had someone try to give us knives, like these cool pocket knives, great pocket knives, but I couldn't take them. I couldn't take mine because I can't get it into Korea. Oh, she doesn't even have to win the court case to get her hat back. The day Flux says, "I want my hat back," it's hers. I don't even consider it my hat. It's just on loan because I know that's a special hat to her. Yeah, so I got the soap, I got the knife, but I couldn't take the knife because you just can't bring knives into Korea. Nate showed up on Saturday. And then oh God, it's Jeff's hat. I'm holding it in trust. Then Saturday afternoon came. So Nate showed up, walked around. We did some fun stuff there. Then we all decided to go to dinner at this Mexican restaurant, Papacitos, that was attached to the hotel. I was so out of it. Well, the second night I was there, you may have seen the picture. Like Chandler put it up on her Twitter. Hayden put it up on his Twitter and in a live, one of his shorts of me just asleep on a chair. I just pieced out on a chair in the lobby of the hotel for a while. The Saturday night was the worst. See, I can't even remember who went to dinner at Papacitos. Chainsaw and lawnmower. Hang on, just a second. All right. That's the best it's gonna do. Panda milk. How do you milk a panda? Jesus fuck. Excuse me. Yeah, we'll talk about my Utah plans here in 5 or 10 minutes. Thank you for that super chat, Panda Milk. We'll get right on it. It's 9 o'clock in the morning, and we've got dueling power duels. Probably a wood chipper. All right, so where was? Oh yeah, I went to dinner on Saturday night, and I was out on my damn feet. Because I'd had 3 hours sleep maybe in in 3 or 4 days. We went to this Papacitos restaurant. I'm trying to think. There was somebody tell me if I'm wrong. It was me, Chandler, Flux, Danielle, and Hayden. Those are the people that I remember being at the table. If there was any more, I don't remember. And we got these sort of Tex-Mex family restaurant style meals. You know, they were what they were. But I fell asleep twice in the middle of eating my food. Oh, see, I remember. Danielle, that's right. Yeah, I was so done. Like literally eating my food. I fell asleep twice at the table. And like, I've just got to go crash. I've just got to. And I was doing this thing where I was like constantly moving because I mean, seriously, I was just doing this at the table like all the time because I knew that if I stopped moving, I would fall asleep again and I wouldn't wake up. So it's probably annoying the shit out of everybody else at the table. They're trying to eat, and I'm over here going, sorry to everybody if I ruined your dinner. But yeah, I just had to keep like just moving as best I could just so I wouldn't fall asleep at the table. And I went up for a power nap because I thought, okay, I just got to get let me get an hour and a half, 2 hours sleep, and I'll be good. Yeah, we hung out with Nick quite a bit. Did you get the tableside guacamole? No, we didn't get that. We got what did we get instead of that? We got some other appetizer-y thing. Can't remember what it was. But yeah, I thought I would get a power nap. So I mean, I went up, and again, apologies to everybody at the table. I had way overextended myself. Yeah, I am congested, Chris. Airplane flu, And the thing is just, all right, for those of you that are joining late, 445 of you are here, and we're an hour into this. The cold thing, it happens because everybody that ever flies in an airplane, every time I ever fly in an airplane, I get a cold because you're just breathing that recycled air for me, door to door is about 24, 25 hours, depending where I go. And the fastest you're going to get from Korea to the US is about 11 and a half hour flight. And you're just breathing the same air, filtered air, of course, but still reprocessed filtered air that 435 other people are breathing. And the air conditioning is on. It's just dry. So you get the dry shirt, the dry throat. And then you get in the hotel. It was 4 days inside this artificial environment where it was just nonstop air conditioning and just super dry. So it kind of got me a sore, scratchy throat. And then I sat next to patient 0 for the zombie apocalypse on the flight from Texas to Utah. So it's not allergies. It's just a head cold. It's kind of like right up here. And so that's why I've just been living off NyQuil for the last 2 days. This is actually much improved. But thank you for your concern. So I went back to take my power nap at 8:30. And again, for like the third time, I told everybody at the table for the dinner that night, if I sucked that bad and ruined your meal, I'm sorry. I was just so tired. Went back up at 8:30, went to sleep, just dropped like a rock on the bed. Dropped like a rock on the bed. And then I woke up an hour and a half later at 9:30. I think it was Hayden messaged me, or I just woke up. I can't remember what exactly what happened. Speaking of which, Dragon's Treasure. We hung out with the T-Man for a while. T-Man had a little booth set up there. It was pretty awesome. Seriously, Dragon's Treasure T-Man was an awesome guy. It was fun to talk to. Couldn't talk a lot to him because he was actually really, really busy. And that was good. He was making some cash. We all took pictures and stuff and hung out with T-Man for a while. And if you want some teas, just go over there to thedragonstreasure.com. Thedragonstreasure.com. Get some of his amazing teas. And if you use code VICES, you get 10% off. Win. So go get some 10% off tea. Loose leaf teas, bag teas, whatever. Go get tea bagged by the T-Man for 10% off. You won't. I love those teas. I picked up a bunch more. And he also does coffee now too. So he only has 2 types of coffee. And I'm going to be testing them, and I'll give my honest opinion of what I think about his coffees. So we're good. So I went to sleep at 8:30. I woke up at 8:30. I woke up at 9:30. God, I've only been asleep an hour. That was like an hour and a half. Woke up at 9:30. And I've never felt this way before. I was so tired. I was physically sick. I mean, I was physically nauseous. I was so tired. I woke up at like 9:30, and I felt like if I move, I'm going to throw up. I mean, I didn't even want to look at my phone or check anything. That's how tired and it sounds weird to say that, but that's how tired I was. But I just wanted to throw up if I moved. And thought, nah, we ain't doing this. And then I woke up again around 11, and I'm like, I don't think I'm going to leave my room. And that brought Saturday night to a close. And then Sunday morning, that's the last day. We just kind of hung out. Hey, Corn Pope, what's up? We Sunday morning was chill and peaceful because everybody's breaking down the stands. Again, the four musketeers, I've decided we're calling ourselves Chandler, Flux, me, and Ozzy. We're walking through, just hanging out, just kind of picking up the last few things at the convention center. Waifu Kron Jess and her man Casey joined us. We kind of walked around, hung out for a bit. Yeah, just did some last minute shopping and chill. Nick left about 10:30. Said goodbye to him and Lady Rackets in the hotel lobby. Excuse me. And then we just kind of hung out for a bit, had some coffee and some smokes, and chilled. Went back over. Then Chandler and Flux left. That was sad to see Chandler and Flux leave. You guys are awesome. Seriously, Chandler and Flux are two of the coolest, most amazing people you would ever meet in your entire life. Hands down. Just absolute cream of the crop, good people. Then it was my turn to leave. Ryan, the editor, took me to the airport. And I got to the airport about 4:35. Then flew off to Utah, and then came here. And that's sort of the end of Anime Matsuri for me. Wait, what's this? Are we getting? Are people's chats getting retracted? Really? What's happening? I haven't seen anything. Of course, I'm not watching the stream. I'm watching StreamYard. Are they? Is YouTube being retarded? Well, that sucks. Oh, so yeah. All right. That's the sort of the play-by-play. Now let me just kind of give some of my thoughts here. Let me make sure I've got everything read here. Oh yeah, any Utah plans this trip? Let's just do that now before I forget. Panda Milk. Again, thank you so much for the super chat. Utah plans. My personal plans are to literally do nothing. I'm so dead after Anime Matsuri. I don't want to do anything. Ordinarily, on a vacation back home here, we'd go camping for 3 or 4 days, go to Vegas for a few days, do things. But I'm just chilling. Me and my son are probably going to go check out Oppenheimer today. We'll probably do that. Might do the last voyage of the Demeter tomorrow. But I'm just doing nothing. Chill. That's all I'm doing. Friday is going to be the day. Currently, the plan is for Danny on and I to do a stream from about 5 to 7 or 6 to 7:30, somewhere around there, something like that, like a 5 to 7 joint stream at her place. And then after we finish that, we plan on doing a meetup for anyone in the Salt Lake area at boy, I'm still kind of tired. What the hell's the name of the bar that I live in Salt Lake? Lake Effect. At the Lake Effect bar. I'm doing a meetup at Lake Effect Bar in Salt Lake. Probably except from around 7 to 8:30, just kind of a quick hour and a half thing. And then head on back to Utah. And Saturday, we're thinking Saturday, either Saturday afternoon or Saturday night, doing another meetup together at Peach City in Brigham City up north, near where I live. We'll have the plans finalized today, and we'll tweet them out and whatnot. But yeah, so that's the Utah plans. Friday will be a joint stream with Danny on. Then we'll have a little meetup at Lake Effect. Probably sit right around 7 o'clock sometime on Saturday. Friday. And then Saturday we'll do another meetup in Brigham City at Peach City. So that's what I have planned. And other than that, just whatever happens. Let's see. Comments, thoughts. Hey, MLS Law Show, what's up? David in the house. Cecil was naked, not having his shades on. First time I ever saw his face. See, T-Watt knows. Cecil looks like Bautista. I was not surprised. I was not expecting that without the glasses. I wasn't expecting him to look like Bautista. He's a big dude too. Cecil is a big buff dude. Let's see. So like comments on people. What comments do I have on people? Like I said, the fans and the supporters and the subs were just super great people. The people I hung out with were great. Like I said, I feel bad, and I'm sure I'm sure I've pissed people off that I just couldn't stay focused on them exclusively during the whole thing. And there were times when I just had to walk away. All right, done. Peace out. I feel bad. And if anybody felt offended by that or shortchanged, I am so super sorry. But I just had to. It was either that or I would murder people. And we don't want that. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh geez, yeah. I had. I can't remember what night that was. One of the nights went out drinking with Lofty Pixels, Nick, Mrs. Nick, Cecil, Camelot, and others. That was a fun night. But Camelot is way cool. Really humble guy, great guy, funny as hell. Nick, of course, is Nick. Nick's a great guy, and Lady Racket's absolute cream of the crop. She's an amazing woman, super fun to be with, super funny. She bought me this stuffed corn dog. It's in the other room. I'll do a loot unveiling when I get back to Korea. But it was like a stuffed corn dog. It was like a big giant corn dog, and she wanted these little 3D printed articulated dragons that come in these little 3D printed eggs. And we had this weird exchange that there was no other way you could phrase this exchange of information, because she was out getting my corn dog thing, and I was out getting her dragon and dragon's egg. And Nick texts me and says, "My wife is holding your corn dog." And I said, "Well, tell her that I've got her eggs." I was just laughing like an idiot for about 10 minutes over this stupid thing. There's just no other way that could have been phrased. That was the best possible way that particular exchange of information could have been shared. "My wife's holding your corn dog. Well, I tell her I've got her eggs." There was literally no better way of putting that. To this day, I can't think of another way that could have been communicated. When speaking of that, Chandler made the mistake. Chandler made the mistake of buying from the same people in this articulated cat, this kind of green metallic cat. And that just started about 24 hours of pussy jokes. That's all it was. It was just 24 hours of jokes about Chandler's pussy and things like that. It was absolutely degenerate. Like I said, I mean, just after 4 days with Hayden, pretty much exclusively all the time with Hayden, Flux, and Chandler, my ribs, my abs were hurting from laughing so much. It was just ridiculous how much fun and how much laughter we had. What? I'm not going to read that. You all can read that, but it's true. It's a thing. We were just doing things to that poor cat and putting it in those terms. So it was we were just thinking of all the degenerate things we could do and say about that cat. Chandler says, "I'm looking at my pussy right now. It's on the shelf." Yeah, we saw Chandler's pussy on Twitter. But seriously, it was 24 hours of just the stupidest, most childish jokes, but it was so good. Yeah, we didn't stop laughing the entire night. Sub to Flux. Get over to House of Flux, HOUSEOFFLUXX, and get over to Chandler Remington, Remy_legal. Subscribe to those two women. They are absolute amazing people. Oh my God, I'm still laughing at them. That was just so stupid. She took her pussy from room to room. She just pimped it out. Oh, it was just stupidity. It was great. Seriously, Hayden, Ozzy is such a good guy, so kind, such a generous, giving, warm guy. Hayden, I love Hayden to death. Hayden's great, And subscribe to Aussie Overlord too if you haven't already done that. I keep forgetting to take drinks here. I'm getting dry throat again. My Arizona green tea. Well, see, Chandler turned me onto these. These Spindrift. Check these out yesterday. These are really good. These Spindrift sparkling water. Stop. Stop it, Chandler. We went on this whole Koyana Scottsy thing. I can't get there's going to be tons of inside jokes for the next who knows how long. But yeah, I mean, Hayden was like a freaking kid in a candy store the entire time. I had so much fun just following him around. And he's explaining things to me like I'm a freaking idiot for not knowing any of this. I loved it. Hayden was so cool. His unboxing and his haul reveal is going to be amazing. JKD Buck says, if everyone in the world abandoned you, Ozzy would be there for you. And I think everybody would be there for Ozzy too. Jess, shut up. Chandler's pussy may be green, but it's mighty cute. Yeah, and it's like I said, Hayden was so much fun. He was absolutely fantastic. He was doing so many cool things. He was just there to freaking have fun. Yeah, he was. Hayden was checking out the lightsaber. Hayden got a bunch of lightsabers. He was like Star Wars kid, but he was kicking it. He was awesome. Just whipping the lightsabers around. It was so fun. Love Hayden to death. Jess, waifu Kron, she's funny as hell too. And I like her in person too, because like waifu Kron here, she's just chill. She's kind of like me, like subtle. In person, I'm actually much more subtle than I am now. But yeah, her and Casey are fantastic people. Enjoyed having time with waifu Kron and her man Casey. Just chilling, walking around, having fun. I can't say anything else other than they're just great people, just good people hanging around. Oh, yeah, it was especially like at the dinner from hell where everybody was screaming at each other. I was sitting right next to waifu Kron and her husband. We were just having so much fun talking, trying to be heard. And this is how loud it was in that restaurant, at that table. Like I said, going from my left, there was me, Flux, and then Chandler. It was so loud that Chandler, who was one person away, she and I were texting each other so that we could understand what each other was saying. And when I left, the waitress gave me an earful about how loud everybody was. I'm like, not my problem. I'm out. But yeah, no, Jess waifu Kron is top-notch people. So much fun to hang out with her. Wish I could have had more time to hang out with you and Casey. We'll definitely be seeing each other online. Actually, Camelot was cool. Camelot was really super humble. The first day, I guess it would be Thursday. Hayden, Ryan the editor, myself, Lady Rackets, Nick, Lila, Chrissy Mayer, Camelot, and Camelot's girl. We were hanging out in the swimming pool of the hotel, just chilling. And that Chrissy is actually really, really nice and really funny. Chrissy Mayer is hilarious. She reminds me a lot of me, just deep, dark, biting cynicism and sarcasm. And on Sunday, the very last thing we did, we went to the Friday Night Tights cast. Great. Talked about Snow White. Oh my God. Yeah, this new Snow White thing is going to be an absolute shit show. We were at the bar most of the time. Yeah, this new Snow White, they talked a lot about that on the panel. It's not going to be Prince Charming is going to be a stalker, someone that's stalking her. And they're basically just shitting on the very first full-length feature animation movie ever made in the history of film. The original Disney Snow White literally changed the history of cinema, if not the world, forever. Yeah, Snow Brown and the 7 diversity hires. Exactly, Jason. I mean, even if we put away the ridiculous casting, just the arrogance and the just the retardedness. That's the only word I've got. The retardedness of the plot line and the story. Yeah, the thing, the story is made in 1937. It's so old, and you can see it. We're gonna make her this leader she was meant to be. In Prince Charming, he's gonna be like a stalker. So we're just gonna let her die. But see, you can make her the girl boss without being a woke dick about it, like Snow White and the Huntsman, or is that what it was called? The Huntsman or whatever the hell it was. But yeah, you're a girl boss. But yeah. And again, I mean, they mentioned it on the panel, and I kind of agree. She's 21 years old, the actress. She is being fed lines from the studio that she's supposed to talk about during the press junkets. She's an idiot. She'll grow up someday. She's just being an absolute idiot now. But she's doing it because people are telling her to do that. People are telling her to say this obnoxious shit. Why can't you remake the movie? And again, see, this is the whole thing. It's all the woke left is like, oh, we need all this diversity. We need, if you're not a gay character, if you're not gay in real life, you can't play a gay person. If you're not trans in real life, you can't play a trans person. If you're a dwarf, well, fuck it. We're not gonna give the dwarves their job. We're not gonna give the little people their jobs. Fuck them. We're gonna give this ragtag misfit group of fucking weirdos to play 7 dwarves. Or I don't know if are they gonna call them dwarf in this movie. I don't even know. But how can they when one dude seems to be about 6.5 feet tall? Just and Lila was pissed about that. She's like, you're literally taking movies away from little people. In the middle of all of this, we have to be diverse. We have to do all of these things. We have to make all of these points. We have to be so inclusive. We have to give people jobs. And then they literally have one dwarf amongst the 7 dwarves. It's stupid. And I hope to hell this movie burns to the fucking ground. It's the absolute worst. I mean, why? Why do you have to do this? I don't get it. We missed a chat by Aaron. I'll get to that. Kelly R says if they make Snow Brown into a comedy, it might be hilarious. You don't even have to do that. The classic example, and it was nobody hated on it. Everybody liked it. You have The Wizard of Oz, one of the greatest movies ever, one of the first color films, 1935. Then you had Michael Jackson, Diana Ross, and whoever else was in The Wiz. They turned it into a black musical. Great show. Do something like that. Recast it. Keep the same core story, jazz it up a little bit, change it a bit. Go ahead, do something. Make it something better. Make it something more creative. Make it transformative. Don't just shit on it. Don't just shit on this absolute iconic moment in the history of motion pictures. Why does Disney have to do this? I don't understand. It makes no damn sense to me. And like I said, I hope this film burns to the fucking ground. I have nothing good to say. Nothing good to say about it. Everything I've seen is going to tell me it's going to suck ass. And we still have a year, well, at least another 6 to 8 months to shit on it. So I'm going to be happy to do that. We're going to make Snow White be this leader she was born to be. Well, Chrissy had an idea. I think it was Chrissy that had an idea on the Friday Night Tights podcast there at Anime Matsuri. She was saying, you can still have her in that same predicament, but you can also make her like, she doesn't just live with 7 dwarves. She lives in like a village of dwarves, and they want just to be treated like everybody else. And so they sort of organize together. They raise an army that goes to take on the evil queen. You do something like that. That would be new. That would be woke, and people would still want to see it. But just to say, okay, Prince Charming's a stalker. Get a fucking break, dude. It's not going to be a traditional love story. I maybe I'm weird, but I never even saw the original Snow White as a love story. It was an epic fantasy. It was a classic fantasy novel. And oh, just because they lived happily ever after, and the prince kissed her out of the evil queen's deep sleep thing, it's a love story. No, I never saw Snow White as a love story. I always thought it was weird that some random chick comes in the forest, breaks into somebody's house, and starts cleaning. But it is what it is. Yeah, see, Flux is right. It wasn't a love story. We're gonna have fun burning Snow White to the ground. It's so stupid. Ugh. All right, let's get to Aaron super chat that I missed. Sorry about that, Aaron. Where'd you go here? Said it would be an honor and a privilege to be murdered by you, my good sir. Well, I wouldn't murder anybody I know. I just murder random strangers. That's what I would do. Wolfram says we have to remake the movie. We have to remake the movies more diverse. No, you really don't, woke morons. Well, first of all, why do we have to remake these fucking things in the first place? To me, remakes, reboots, whatnot, it essentially boils down to a lack of creativity. Why do we? There's been so many adaptations of Snow White done and done right. You don't have to remake it or revision it. Just do something based on the story. It's one of the classic stories of all time. A wife who run the villainization of straight white men. Prince Charming is now a stalker. Nuke woke white from orbit. Yeah. Panda milk. I don't think you're wrong. No, see, this is a thing that a lot of people don't know, or they haven't thought about. A lot of times you're watching a movie and you're going, this, get that light out of the way. A lot of people watch movies and think, this is an utter piece of shit. Why would anybody in their right mind make this movie? There are a lot of movies that are made specifically for the purpose of losing money, for insurance reasons. You get insured, you can actually make more on insurance payments. If you have your insured value at a certain point and you make down here, your losses that you recover from insurance can be much greater than those you would earn from the box office for that movie. So a lot of times they're made specifically to lose money, so they can write off. They can use them as tax and insurance write-offs. But I really don't think they're doing it in this case. I think they truly believe this is going to be a good story for them. But it didn't work out for Little Mermaid. I don't know why you have to take these amazing classic movies and fuck with them. Just let them be. This has been a classic for 90 years for a reason. It's been watched and loved by people for 100 years because it's a timeless story. At some point, maybe 20, 30 years in the future, people are going to look back at all the movies that are made today and think, what the fuck was wrong with those people in the 2020s? What is this shit? Rant. That's kind of all I had kind of planned to talk about here today. What do we got? An hour and 35 into this and 432 of you here. I have no idea. How many likes do we have? I have no idea how many likes this thing has yet because I can't see the YouTube thing. So just like and subscribe to this thing if that's what you want to do. I think we're having fun here. Somebody let me know how many likes we have. I'm just curious. Oh my God. Cats. Oh, that Cats was horrific. Oh yeah, Flux and I were talking about oops. Bring your sister on stream. She's asleep. We were up late last night. Plus, she doesn't know I'm doing the YouTube thing. Where'd you go, Flux? Oh yeah, Flux says the Dungeons and Dragons movie was good. We talked about that for a bit. 323. Like, come on, people. Smash that like button. Get me up there. Get me up there. Come on. Hit that like button. Damn it, didn't hit the mute button. Right, I'm back. Time for another drink. Tell us about telling your son about YouTube. Oh yeah. Well, if when we do the meetup in Brigham City on Saturday, Danny wants to meet my son, so I have to explain to him why we're going there and doing that. So I'm gonna probably have to let my son in on the secret. But it's not really a secret. I'm just waiting for someone to find out. So yeah, we'll probably have to tell my son so that he knows why there's all these people that want to see me. He'll probably he's 23 and he's my son, so he'll probably just go, cool. Mm. I'm expecting that sort of reaction from him, but oh, the original Catch was great, Ramon Sanchez, but I couldn't watch the stupid movie. I saw like 15 seconds of it and went, this looks weird. You need to do a stream afterwards about how it went down. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. His son, I'm an awesome YouTuber. Why is Jeff whispering? I'm not whispering, I'm talking. Does it sound like I'm whispering? Whatevs. Anywho, like I said, that's everything I wanted to talk about. If any of you have any questions about Anime Matsuri or anything else, we can hang here for 10 more minutes or so. It's not going to be a big deal. It's not like, sit down, son. I've got something to tell you. Well, I hope you'll still support me and love me after I tell you this. I'll I'm not keeping it secret on purpose. I'm just doing because I think it's hilarious that what do we have, like 63,600 something subscribers, and no one's found it organically. I'm just trying to do it to see how long it takes for people to organically find out that I'm doing this. I'm not hiding it. It's not really a secret. It's just I'm not advertising it. This is one of the new hats I got from hey Joe asks, are you wearing a new hat? This is one of the new hats I got from Miller Hats. I got two other hats. They're actually UPS is delivering them today, so you'll see them all before I head back to Korea. Rum is calling. That's right. As soon as I get this done here, the liquor store doesn't open for another 20 minutes, and you can't be the first person in the liquor store in the morning. Being the first person in the liquor, like waiting outside the liquor store door for it to open, it just looks bad. They don't know I've been awake for like 5 hours because of jet lag. You just don't want to be the first person in line waiting for them to open the liquor store doors. It looks more degenerate than it is. Oh, my sister doesn't know. Nobody in my family knows. Who cares? Not like they'll ever see you again. I know, but I have to look in the mirror and go, I was waiting in line for them to open the door to the liquor store. Plus, I mean, in Logan here where I am, this liquor store, for those who are like wondering, what's a liquor store? Utah is a alcohol controlled state. Oregon is another one, but anything above 4.2% alcohol has to be purchased in one of these state liquor stores. I think there's 30 or 40 of them in the state. But the one here in Logan is a shithole. It's mostly beer and wine. It's mostly beer, wine, and really, really bad vodka and really, really bad tequila and flavored whiskeys. The high quality Scotch section is like one corner and about 3 shelves. It's really this is not the place to go for high alcohol, like high class alcohol consumption. So yeah, it's just kind of a matter of finding something that's drinkable, just something to share with the family and whatnot. But 3.2 beer. Well, see, that's the thing. It used to be 3.2 here in Utah. Like anything above 3.2 had to be purchased from the state liquor store. But then Anheuser-Busch said, sorry, Utah, we're not making 3.2 beer anymore because nobody drinks it. And so they said, we're not making anything less than 4.2. And because of that, Utah had to change all of their laws. So otherwise, yeah, they couldn't sell Budweiser in the stores. So that's how the ABV limits in Utah were raised. And so so the liquor store is a state-run liquor store but the good thing about the state-run liquor stores is they control the prices. There's none of this secondhand, this aftermarket secondhand uh, price increase. So like you can, if you get a bottle of Blanton's, you get it for $39, not 150, 200, or whatever some of these other resellers sell them at. So that is the good thing. Uh, let's see. Let's see. Scrolling through chat here. Oh, Irish, I was drunk. Good to see you here. Ireland is great. Get anything at the supermarket. Well, that's why a lot of people say I'm right next to Idaho. Logan's about 24 miles south of Idaho. And it's not that far to Nevada either, or Wyoming for that matter. So there are options, and people will travel out of state to get higher proof things. It's an ABC state store. No, state controlled pricing is very, very good because it prevents the aftermarket sales. Because if you get like a bottle of Pappy Van Winkle, if they get it in the liquor store in Utah, it's going to be $79. It's not going to be $800, which they're going to charge you if you go to a secondhand or an aftermarket or a reseller store. It's set at the MSRP level. So it's actually, but it hurts the allocations. 4 hours and you'd be fishing the Beaverhead. Gonna go by Skinwalker Ranch. No, that's too far out of the way. That's too far south. I'm in recovery mode from Anime Matsuri. We're not traveling, not going to Vegas, not going down that way. Does Utah have an alcohol minimum price floor as well? No, I don't know if they have a minimum alcohol price. They just have I'm not sure if it's the MSRP or whatever it is, but they just have a fixed price. That's just what you pay. I don't know if they have a minimum price. Every state liquor store sells it at exactly the same price, and it's around MSRP. I recently left Vegas after a decade. It was getting rough. I do, however, miss the no state taxes part. Yeah. Um, have you not seen the sunglasses? What sunglasses? I don't know what that means. Jojo, Mr. opens at 10 a.m. on Sunday. Yeah, no liquor here on Sunday. And 7 a.m. on weekdays. 10 a.m. here. Oh, yeah, MSRP is the manufacturer suggested retail price. That's what the manufacturer says. You should sell this for right around this level. Hi, cat. Here's my brother's cats here on the floor. Wow. Alrighty. What did Ozzy think about America? I think he loved it. He had a great time, I think. But I'm sure he's going to talk a lot about it once he gets home. He should be getting home pretty soon if he's not there already. I know we had a lot of fun together. And seriously, I just want to say to the people that we hung out with for that time, Ozzy, Chandler, Flux, Jess, Casey, Nick, Drax. I mean, it's everybody, and all the fans and whatnot. Everybody was so great. There wasn't a jerk in the crowd. It was great. Yeah, Ozzy was happy. He's a good man. Any gun range? I didn't have time to visit gun ranges. I know Ozzy did. I just didn't have time. I was either walking around talking to people or crashing. Is that was Hayden's first trip out of Australia, hey Joe. So yeah, that was his first trip anywhere basically, and he had a great fun. I think Mighty took Ozzy to the range. Yeah, Mighty Meat took Ozzy to the shooting range a couple of days before I got there. He's got some videos out, but I'm sure he's gonna do some cool Redux things when he gets back. And when I get back to Korea, I have a minor unboxing. I picked up a few things, not a lot, because I don't get it. I don't get anime. I don't understand anime. The stuff that I watched growing up is so dinosaur that nobody even knows about it. Like Battle of the Planets, some people called it G-Force. Battle of the Planets was one I watched. Of course, Speed Racer, Macross, Robotech. Those two iterations. And that was the only thing they had there from my area. They had one Macross book and one Robotech book. And I said, I got to go back and get these later. And they were both gone. Should have got them. Should have known there was some old was running around there. It's like, I remember those, and bought them up. That would have been the only anime things that I understood or knew. I saw a couple of Chainsaw Man cosplayers. That was pretty cool. But Ozzy was all over it. Yeah, Macross was great. But Voltron, they did have some Voltron there. Now that I think about it, but kind of like the Voltron Gundam thing, sort of kind of overlapped and meshed into each other. The cool thing is it was Godzilla centric. They had the set designer for Shin Godzilla actually there, and he was drawing these amazing Godzilla story panel things, and they were selling so much cool Godzilla stuff, and I was so happy that I couldn't buy any of it. They had these gigantic Godzilla figurines. They were about $1,300 a piece. I mean, I would have dropped that money in a heartbeat, but thankfully they weighed a freaking ton, so I couldn't take them back. I couldn't ship them. It would be ridiculously expensive to ship them, and I certainly couldn't put them on my luggage. So I was weighted out of being able to buy them. But I picked up some Godzilla stuff. No, this is my Zachariah Anderson T-shirt I'm wearing, but got a couple Godzilla T-shirts and a few movie posters, like reprints of movie posters and some art. But yeah, they had gigantic, about 7 foot tall Godzilla statue. For some reason, I didn't get a picture taken with it. Wait, what nerd check did Chrissy fail? I missed that. Huh. What did she fail? Did you know? See, now this is starting to piss me off. I checked, and it has not moved from Chicago since July 21st, and I'm getting pissed. So I've got to sort that out when I get back to Korea. It's like, where is my merch? Yeah, so I don't know where it is. Yeah, I was in a lot of stuff, and it was expensive to ship FedEx. That was cost prohibitive. Oh, she streamed the drawing one and simply wasn't enamored at all. I was. It was so cool. Yeah, no, that's the Godzilla thing. They had these armor personnel carriers, and it was so cool. I really, really, really wanted to be there. I really wanted to buy some of the stuff, but thankfully it was a little expensive and it weighed a ton. So there you go. What's airport customs like entering Korea? It's pretty chill. Nobody cares really. They just want to make sure that you're paying taxes on things. And they don't really care about the alcohol and things like that. It's more like the older ladies that go to someplace really hot like Thailand or Vietnam in August, and they come back wearing 4 layers of mink fur coats. Yeah, we think you got those there. Things like that. There was a few Power Rangers people. I don't think I saw any Transformer type stuff. There may have been, but it didn't know. There's a few Power Ranger cosplayers walking around. Yeah, well, Ronan Varheit says, considered running up to Houston to meet up with guys, but I couldn't justify the cost unless I followed through on starting my own channel. But add and follow, though. Sounds like it was a blast. It was great fun. Koreans love American fashion and clothing. It's kind of the other way around. I think Americans love Korean fashion and clothing a little bit more these days. I don't know. I don't care about clothes. Walmart's where I go shopping. Yeah, the vacation's going well. Once I shut this down, it'll be time to go take my Dayquil. Keep working on this cold. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So you can take liquor home with you. Ew, wait a minute here. Where'd he go? Wait, where'd that comment go? I hear he is. So you can take liquor home with you. Yeah, you can take 1 liter into Korea legally. So I'll pick up something really good and duty free. But the most I've ever taken into Korea and not declared was 7 or 8 liters of whiskey. But yeah, I can pretty much get whatever I want in Korea now. But I'll pick up something special in duty free and call it good. Okay, well, guys, I think it's about time to shut it down here. We've been going about 2 hours now. Probably come back again tomorrow and give you another update. This was great fun hanging out and talking to you guys. I just wanted to give a proof of life. Because like I said, I planned on doing the shorts every day or a couple of times a day, but I just got so swamped with meeting people and hanging out and doing things or just crashing and being asleep that I just couldn't. So we had to give you a little bit of a live thing. So those of you that I know were here, that we saw DWAT, Afix, Chandler, Flux, Waifu you guys are amazing people. It was so much fun to hang with you guys. Some true great lifelong friendships were made. Danielle's just the sweetest. She's so fun. We need more Danielle in our lives. It was just so great meeting people and hanging out and really there's nobody and really just making these bonds. Just like forging a real life bonds that are going to last. Online friendships are cool, but when you meet people in person and you sort of solidify that, it's much deeper. I think it's much deeper relationships. I think were forged on this trip, and that's a win. All around is an absolute win. And again, I apologize to anyone that felt shortchanged by me being tired or wandering away or trying to escape or whatnot. I apologize, but I just did it because I had to. Thanks everybody for your support here. Liquor stores open hype. 5 more minutes. We'll be back soon. And Lincoln Kane, thank you so much for the gifted memberships. And if anybody else gifted memberships, thank you too. But I can't see who gifted memberships here. Mods, thank you for being here. Chat, you're always the greatest chat ever. Yeah, 3D relationships, right? It takes it out of the parasocial into the real social. Lives me, Flux lives me. That's good. Chandler, heart right back at you. You guys are seriously great. Chat is the greatest chat ever. The Vice Squad chat rocks. With that, hey everybody, we'll catch you later. We'll update you very, very soon on the Friday meetup in Salt Lake at Lake Effect and Saturday at Peach City in Brigham City, Utah. We'll do it. And until we do this, probably tomorrow, don't forget to enjoy your legal vices. Lorax, oot. I'm Canadian. Bye.